Hello friends, I am here with my next video on the topic ratio and proportion. So before going into details and the mathematical aspect, let's see some theoretical aspect. First, let's define what's a ratio. The ratio of two quantities A and B in the same units is in the fraction of A by B, and we can write that as A is to B. Here A is known as antecedent, whereas B is known as consequent. Regarding the proportion, it's basically the equality of two ratios, which is known as proportion. For example, if we have A is to B, that is one ratio, and C is to D as the second ratio, we can equate this and we can write in the proportion as A is to B in proportion to C is to D. Here A and D is known as extremes, whereas the middle term B and C is known as means. And we have got a formula, basic formula, that the product of means is equal to the products of extreme. Let me write it down. Product of means is equal to product of extreme. There are some more terminologies. The first one is the fourth proportional. We can define as fourth proportional. Take an example, that is A is to B is equal to C is to D. Here D is the fourth proportional in respect to the A, B and C. Similarly, we have got a third proportional when we have A is to B is equal to B is to D. Then D is in third proportional to A and B. And the third proportional and that third terminology will be the mean proportional, which is basically root over AB. That is, if we need to find a mean proportional between A and B, the answer for that, or the mean proportional for A and B, will be root under AB. Now some more terminologies will be there, like duplicate ratio. So if we need to find duplicate ratio of A is to B, it will be A square is to B square. Similarly, we have got subduplicate ratio, and subduplicate ratio for A is to B will be equal to root over A is to root over B. Similarly, we have got triplicate, which will be A is cube to B cube. Triplicate ratio for A is to B will be A cube is to B cube, and similarly triplicate ratio for A is to B will be cube root of A and cube root of B. So these are the basic terminologies which we need to take care. That is all the fifth, sixth and seven basic terminologies, which are the basic part and the basic terminology we need to consider. So from now we'll move towards the mathematical part. So let's start with a very basic question. Suppose it's a very common question in all our MCQs and interview quantitative aptitude. We have been given A is to B is to 5 is to 9, and B is to C is equal to 4 is to 7, and we need to find A is to B is to C. This is very simple. We just need to write this in the form A by B is 5 by 9 and B by C will be 4 by 7. Now we can see here that this B have 9 and this B have 4. So we have we know a formula, or we can solve it simply by logic, by multiplying this by 4 and multiplying this by 9. So in both the cases we'll get B as 36 as common, so that we can differentiate. And multiplying the same number in both denominator and numerator will make no difference. So it will be 20 by 36 and it will be 36 by 63. Now let's take a look. A will be 20, B will be 36, which is common in both the ratios, and C will be 63. So A is to B is to C will be 20 is to 36 is to 63. Since these cannot be further reduced, so this will be the final answer. Else if they would have got a common divisor, we can cancel them out and come to a final answer. So in this case, this is the final answer. Now moving to the next question. We need to find the fourth proportional to 4, 9 and 12. Remember I told you the fourth proportional. When we need to find a fourth proportional, we need to find D. So if I need to write this 4, 9, 12, so we know that D was basically the fourth proportional. So we need to write this as 4 is to 9 is to 12 is to X, because this is the fourth proportional. And the formula that we remember, that the product of mean will be equal to product of the extremes. So according to that, it will be 4x is equal to 12 into 9, and x will be basically 12 into 9 upon 4. 4 3s are 12, 3 9s are 27. So if we have got x to be 27, so basically the fourth proportional will be 27. This is very, very simple basic questions that we just need to go through it. Similarly, we need to find the third proportional, the mean proportional. They are very, very simple, and it can be very well understood just by seeing the formula I just told earlier. So moving to a bit difficult, just a one step above or a one more level. We have got x is to y is equal to 3 is to 4, and we need to find 4x plus 5y 5x minus 2y. So see, it's very simple. We just need to apply this x is to y in this. So we can easily see this, that here we can't find anywhere x by y, and in the given question we have got x is to y. So what we'll try to do, we can write this as basically 3 by 4. So what we can do here, if we divide everywhere, we divide it by y, that is 4 x by y, divide everything should be divided by y. 5 y by y will be 1. Okay, and this will be written as in the denominator form 5 x by y minus 2 y by y. See, now we have got x by y, and we can put this value here, that is 4 into 3 by 4 plus 5 upon 5 into 3 by 4 minus 2. So it will be basically 3 plus 5 8, and divided when we calculate all this, it will be basically 32 by 7. That's the final answer. This was also very simple question. Now one more very basic and very common question that we all have in quantitative aptitude, that is dividing a certain sum of money among 2 or 3 people. So let's see a simple question among that. We need to divide rupees 1162 among A, B and C in ratio 35, 28, 20. So in this type of question, we just need to focus on this ratio. See, this can be simply solved by taking the sum of all the 3. If we multiply, if we get the addition for all the 3, it will be equal to basically 83. So it's just like calculating the portion or the part of A. See, A have got 35. So calculating that 1 for A, I am calculating for A, 1162 multiplied by 35 by 83. So this was the whole sum, and in this whole sum A had the partnership of 35. So this can be easily calculated by this. So the final answer for this will be 490. Similarly, for B's share will be 1162 into B's were how much? 28. So 28 by 83, which will be equal to 392 rupees. And C's share, okay, you can finally just add up these two and minus from 1162, or you can just follow the conventional method by just 20 by 83, which will give you the final 280 rupees. And just to cross check, you just need to add all the threes and you'll get back this whole sum, just to cross check if your answer is same. So this is the last solved example for you guys. The question here states that there is a mixture of alcohol and water which is in the ratio of 4:3, and later 5 liter of water was added to that mixture, and that new ratio became 4:5. Now we need to find the quantity of the alcohol in the given mixture. So for this, it's very simple logic, that whatever the ratio that's given, we considered, because it's a ratio, of course it can be anything, 4x or 3x depending on the value of x. So we considered simply is at 4x alcohol and water as 3x because it's given as it is. So now we know that the totals that the alcohol is 4x and water is 3x. So according to the question, we add 5 liter of water. So we'll write this in fraction form, that 4x by 3x, and we add 5 liter to the water because water was 3, right? So we add 5 liters of water to it, and the new fraction on the new ratio will be 4 by 5. So this is the basic formula or basic equation that we wanted, and we can just solve this by cross multiplying it. 4x into 5 is equal to 4 into 3x plus 5, and by solving it we'll get the x as 2.5. So the alcohol will be alcohol as it was 4x. So we got the value of x, so we'll multiply 4 into 2.5, which will be 10 liter of alcohol. So these are the final set of solved example for you, and now I'll give you some 5 or 6 questions that you should practice. So these are the next 4 questions which you can use as a practice set of questions, and the solution for these questions will be given in the next video. Make sure you attempt all of them and give your best and solve all the questions. I can just read out the question in case if there is a problem. The ratio of number of boys and girls in a school is 3:2. If 20% of boys and 25% of the girls are scholarship holder, what percentage of student does not get scholarship? The second question goes, the average age of 3 boys is 25 years. Their ages are in the proportion of 3:5:7. Then find the age of the youngest boy. The sum of rupees is divided among A, B, and C in such a way that A gets rupees 7 more than what B gets, and B gets rupees 8 more than whatever C gets. The ratio of their share is, we need to find the shares of each of them, and the ratio of their shares. And the last question is, which we need to find the largest, or the greatest ratio among these 4 values, that is 7:5, 7:25, 15:23, and 21:29. That's all. The answer will be given in the next video.